Howdy pards, Mr. Holster here, up in the shop, just having a little coffee and looking at my new holster that just arrived. It's a holster for my CW 45 Kahr, 45 automatic. It has a 6-round magazine, so loaded you'll have 6 rounds in the magazine and 1 in the pipe. Fantastic little inexpensive firearm. These run around $330, and as a result, for this gun meets a lot of needs I have in a firearm, especially around here at the ranch when I want to wear something that'll, if it gets beat up, it's not going to bother me too much because it's not a real expensive firearm. So in the daytime working, this is a great gun to carry around. And I was looking for a belt holster for it, and this is what I decided to get based on basically price and design. The Gould and Goodrich belt slide holster. It's in chestnut brown, and here is the number designation in case you want to know, 891-K40, and this is what it says it fits, and it's a big list, but I'm going to read it off real quick. It fits the Kahr Covert 40, E9, K9, P9, K40, P40, Colt Defender, Officers ACP, 1991, Officers Commanders, Combat Commander all models, Lightweight CCO, Double Eagle Commander, Combat Elite, Delta Elite, Delta Gold Cup, 1911 frames, Colt and Kimber. Yeah, it's a lot of guns. Well, let's see how it fits. Anytime you get a holster that has multiple guns like that listed on it, you guys start getting concerned it's even going to fit your gun, or it's going to be so loose because it's designed to fit so many guns, you're not going to be happy. Here we got the liability consumer information in there from the company, and take a peek at it, see what you think. Good smelling leather. It smells good. It's fairly stiff. It's a little, it'll collapse pretty easy. And we'll talk about that in a second. But other than that, fairly stiff. Fairly stiff. Belt loop on the rear. Belt loop on the front. And these are designed, and one of the reasons I like these is these are designed for the belt loop on your pants to end up riding right in the center. Your belt feeds through here, through the belt loop on your pants, and then through there, and it really does provide a stable platform. This is about as minimalistic as I would get, however. A nice holster like this, not saying this isn't nice, this is a very nice holster for the money. These cost $22 at Midway USA. Very nice holster for the money. However, if you were to get a holster that was the best it could be, in this type of design, you would have the belt loop here wouldn't be just tacked on. It would be all one piece of leather folded over and sewn down there probably, and it probably would have more leather attached to it that went across here and was sewn on, and it would probably have a steel band, a thin steel band in between those two pieces of leather to keep this from being able to collapse. And you also would probably not have this one piece of leather here. These two pieces would probably be glued together and sewn around, have an opening there. So it'd be a little more sturdy. This is a little thin to be carrying a gun around. In this case, very lightweight gun, smaller gun. I'm not that concerned with it, but I prefer to see it the other way. But that being said, let's see how it fits, and this is what I like to do when I get a new holster. And I'm going to put the gun in for the first time. Of course, make sure the gun is empty. Yeah, you don't want to put a loaded gun in a holster, because if you saw any of my reviews in the past of ones I've taken right out of the bag, you see a lot of them don't fit. And you want to be trying to cram that thing in when it's loaded. No, that's not good. This is what I like to do, is take a little, in this case, because I'm thinking that's going to fit pretty fair. It looks wide enough and it's going to work. So I'm not going to wrap silicone or saran wrap around this gun before I fit it in to check it out. This time what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take one little shot of silicone there, 100% silicone, and because this gun is stainless steel and a polymer frame, I'm not too concerned about putting it in there. It's not going to wreck the finish. But if I had one that was blued, I might wrap the saran wrap around it before I put it in there. Or if I wasn't too concerned with it, I would do this with it, because this will protect it quite a bit. Nice thing about silicone, if I get a little on the polymer frame up here in the front, it's not going to hurt anything. Get it coated where it's going to hit. There we go, we're done. Now we're going to take and see how well they made this holster, because a lot of the holsters, you can't even get them in them when you get them. And look at that, guys. There we go. Slides right in. Not a problem whatsoever. Well, there you go. I would say not bad. Not a bad holster at all. It's going to work very well for my needs for this little gun. So I would say they did a pretty good job. The leather smells good. It's fairly stiff. You want a stiff leather. You don't want the leather to be flabby and soft, no. And a little tip, try to keep the neat's foot oil and the wax away from your holsters. Yeah, those are not good. All they do is make the leather flabby and soft, and it also makes the leather easy to tear when you get too much oil on it. So they've already been done at the factory to the way the factory thinks they should be done, and pretty much stay away. If you want to make them a little slicker to get your gun in and out, or you want to put a little finish on them, use silicone. It doesn't tend to do it quite as much, but be really careful with it, guys. You don't need to. If you sprayed, in all the years in the holsters I've had, if I've sprayed them with silicone more than twice a year and done it for more, that's it. That's it. And I don't even think I did it. I never did it more than twice a year. Once every 7-8 months maybe. You see what I'm saying? You really don't need to play around with the things. Well, there we go. I would give this holster about a 7.5 on a scale from 1 to 10. And mostly because it's really not. It's fairly well made. You have to remember, this is a $22 holster. What do you expect to get for 22 bucks? A great little holster. It'll work fine for my purposes. And if you think it's a little too minimalistic, remember, Jeff Cooper used to carry his Commander in 1911. I personally went to a course and saw him carrying it in a Yaki slide, which that always bothered me because the front sight is exposed, and anything you'd bump into, I always worry about that kind of thing. I like to have, if I can, to have it like this and have my front sight protected, but who am I to argue with Jeff Cooper? Well, I'm certainly not anybody to argue with Jeff Cooper. There you go, guys. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Till next time, go out, stay safe.